What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity, this time with episode 6. Good episode last time, some really cute moments in there. I think we ended off the episode with Wagari and Subaru kind of meeting up at the park that we saw in the flashback a couple episodes ago. So it should be a pretty deep episode today, I'm expecting, actually. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. This big old plaster on my thumb. Oh no. Grey subtitles. Looks fine. Jesus. How much were you fucking parenting her? Sorry, guys. Let her be a kid. Let yourself be a kid. Again, she's acting like a mum. Yeah, got this big old plaster on and keeps coming off. Super Sentai. What would Ragara be? The Yellow Ranger. the Yellow Ranger, yes. Definitely. Pretty sure the Yellow Ranger and Power Rangers. I think they're all Asian in Super Sentai. I've never watched Super Sentai, to be honest with you. But in Power Rangers, I'm pretty sure like at least like 3 or 4 of the seasons, the Yellow Ranger was just an Asian person. The Black Ranger was a black person. And yeah. Let's not talk about that too much. The Pink Ranger was a white girl. I think eventually there was like a black girl that played the Pink Ranger, but yeah. Sorry, guys. Literally just stuffed down my tea, so I got a bit in my throat. These grey subtitles aren't too bad. I mean, I always struggled getting into subbed anime when I first started anime because of the whole reading thing, reading and trying to watch at the same time. And it's a little bit harder with grey subtitles. It's not too bad, but I feel like the bold outline helps a lot. I think I'll be fine there. We all know why you done it. I don't think you have to apologise. I mean, yes, you kind of making decisions for her, I guess, but not really. Didn't really change anything. Ultimately. Yes, you shouldn't have done this. But again, we can understand where it came from. And you felt like you needed to do it, was the important thing. Doesn't matter if we think should have or not. But you probably made her feel a bit useless, perhaps. Feels like she needs someone to look after her, maybe. Oh, she must see me as a girl that needs help with stuff like this. I apologise, I've got to be better. Rusty. A relative of the executioner from Silent Hill. Pyramid Head. No, well, it's not. I mean, it's not entirely similar, but not entirely dissimilar in the case of them having such a weight on them. Got some good strength to be fair to her, Waggery, hasn't she? Maybe she just doesn't weigh a lot. But she's pretty good. Takes a lot to be able to hold your whole weight with one hand like that. I think it's a lot easier as a kid, to be fair. We do. I feel like there's something to be said here, isn't there? Of like, yes, she's gonna like how she worries about Waggery in terms of like this relationship in the school and stuff. It was a little bit like the kind of way that she worried about her and the monkey bars. Sometimes you've got to fall. Sometimes you've got to fall to learn. Sometimes you want to fall. Sometimes you want to take the chance and you're accepting the risk of falling. I feel like there's something to be said about that here as well. Just as Subaru should kind of let her breathe and let her kind of decide her relationship kind of stuff, she should also let her play on the monkey bars if she wants. Is she going to stop her playing on the monkey bars for good and having fun and enjoying herself? I think she should, and I think she realizes that as well. So she should apply that same logic to this relationship situation, I think. I think there's something to be said in this shot as well of like he's so much closer to the ground. It's not going to be a big fall. Honestly, it could very well have happened. She could like snapped her neck or something. So it is actually quite crazy that kids are allowed to play on stuff like this. I remember at my park that when we used to play down there as kids, we used to play football, and then one day one kid ran into the football goals and cracked his head, and then the goals got taken away because he cracked his head on them. Like that was the fault of the inanimate football poles. It was really annoying. I think you're right. I think it's almost a little bit disrespectful, honestly. Not in terms of like you're in a business, but a warm pink. Disrespecting yourself, and that's disrespecting my opinion of you. You disrespecting me because I've got a good opinion of you that you don't think you have. You're disrespecting my judgment of opinion. This is essentially what's happened. Who is someone like you, Subaru? Your whole personality so far has been protect Waggery, so I definitely do want to explore more of her as an actual character, I think. Reminds me of that video. That police officer going down that slide. At least. I mean, you should have done it in general, but at least, yeah. But yeah, fucking, I love that video. Guy just coming out of that slide at like 100 miles an hour. Sorry, guys. Faster. It's hot, so it's sweaty, so it's just not sticking. I need to put another one on. My skin got ripped off. Football. Sorry, I do need a rewind. Like I said, I was just bloody messing my. Don't know if I won't show it to you guys. Actually, might be like gore on YouTube. Might get like banned or something. But yeah, I got a big ass chunk. Not deep, but a big chunk of my skin just ripped off. Football, and it was bleeding a hell of a lot, and still is. And it's hot and sweaty, so the bloody sticker ain't sticking. I think I mentioned this in my Hikaru video last week. I'd love to put some sellotape around it, but the thought of something sellotape or even just the sticky bits of a plaster sticking to the cut itself is enough to make me never do that ever in my life. Because just the thought of that feeling is fucking horrid, having to peel a sticky thing off your cut. No thanks. So you should. You want to go do it. What's so wrong with that? What does that say? They're gonna say it. It's kind of why I paused. Okay, I can't translate kanji, so this, and it's written in like pencil. So, okay, I think that says what's his name? I want to say Ueno, but it's not Ueno, is it? Get his name now. The main character. The main character's name is that, I think. Kun no ni. No, that's. I think this just says, do you like him? I can't exactly remember what some of these hiragana mean, but yeah, I think that just says, do you like our main character? And she said yes. Hence, you shall continue forth. It'd be nice if they did translate that though, for the people that maybe can't understand. I mean, she does say ski there, to be fair. So, I guess that kind of tells you what the question was. I don't like calling him Samugi. I'll never remember that. What was his out of a name? Again, I'm terrible with the names, so apologies. Rintaro, that's the one. Rintaro. Do you like Rintaro? Huh? Relatable. I think everybody's had those thoughts, but maybe not. Maybe not. Narcissists. But yeah, I feel like it's a natural thing to think. Question yourself over. I think it's the sign that you're a good person, to be honest, if you do question those things. Maybe the answer isn't exactly what you'd hope to see from her, but that's a very good sign that you're a good person. Flowers, some pretty flowers. Okay, well that was cool. Again, I do hope you do get more of her character and her as a person. I mean, she went quite deep into her own kind of self thoughts there, but it still is quite centered around waggery, isn't it? I would like to see her kind of evolve into her own kind of person. If that makes sense. Like, see a bit more of her personality, how she interacts with boys or outside of waggery. Like, yeah, I hope she come into her own, blossom. The Yellow Pages. I don't think he knows about the Yellow Pages. That's pretty awkward, isn't it? Can I get your friend's number? I think we all know what what someone would be wanting if they were asked that. You called us. What do you want? Huh? She so happens to be right next to me. Will he expect that? Bit awkward though, isn't it? Bit awkward. Oh, she just handed her over like that. Didn't even have time to hang up on her. Talk this one out. That was awfully nice. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing, bro. Yeah. I mean, you could fool us, but yeah. Shouldn't have to do anything. I think she gets that, doesn't she? Got to cross dress as a girl and enter her school. And yeah. Sneak in there. Well, as I said, everybody can see where she's coming from. Definitely. Maybe you should come to appreciate that about yourself, Subaru. How loyal you are, how protecting you are, even if that is not positive all the time. People aren't always their best version of themselves, their best traits. Sometimes your best traits can also be your shortcomings as well. So, like I said, I'd love to see her. I'd love to see her self-explore herself even more. But she already done a lot today. He is. He is, bless him. Very normal thing though, to be honest with you, for girls, isn't it? I mean, I'm not too clued up on this, but girls love like investigating their friends, like boyfriends, and making sure they're okay and stuff. There's that whole app, wasn't there, not too long ago, but like talking about what boys are bad news and stuff, which I think got like leaked or something. But that is essentially like what girls do, right? Absolutely. Yeah, I think it will be absolutely. I don't think there'll be any trouble whatsoever as long as they just keep meeting um at Rintaro's food place. Like no one will find that weird or anything. It's when they start going to like other places I think could cause issues. Maybe they're dating. Well, I don't know about that. You've shared some intimacy, I guess. They've shared really intimate parts of themselves to each other right now, so I wouldn't totally disagree with what you said there. It's one of those things though where you initially don't think that, but then you look back, you know what? Yeah, we did share some pretty big things. I don't know. I disagree. I disagree. I very much disagree, actually. Absolutely. They already are. Like these guys shared more intimacy and deeper parts of themselves than like 90% of normal friends, right? Yes, it did. Self-loathing. Ash, I love you. Okay, really good episode. Really good episode. Very Subaru focused right here, and again, quite relatable. I mean, I don't know if it's me more than most, but I definitely kind of hold a lot against myself, and even just like when I play football earlier today, I always like I'm really harsh on myself. Which can be good because it helps you improve, but maybe yeah, I don't know. I think it's very easy just to see like the negative parts of yourself, isn't it? Like look at some days look in the mirror like, oh, looking good, looking cool. Some days look in the mirror just like, oh my god, what am I looking at? And yeah, it's just very depends on your mood and such, doesn't it? Depends on a whole load of stuff that you don't really you can't really think about. Yeah, sometimes my self perception is good, sometimes not so much. And it goes a lot more than just like looks, of course. I mean, like confidence and well, sometimes I feel like really confident in situations. Most of the time, not so much. But yeah, a lot of relatable stuff there, honestly, and I think a lot of people can relate. Like I said, I feel like I'm a good person, and I feel like good people do look self-inwardly like that. I feel like if you don't, that is a sign that you don't really care about other people. Look, I think it's a very Japanese thing of like you're always trying to care for the. That's why I relate a lot to anime. That's why anime is a big part of my life and such. I relate a lot to the kind of to a lot of the ethics and such that are kind of taught in shows like these. And again, that's a big one for me because I wasn't. I spoke about this numerous times, but I was never like that. I never had like an inner voice in my head. I was always blurting stuff out that would come into my head and maybe rude or horrible. And yeah, didn't really. Looking back, I didn't really like. Oh, I wouldn't like my older self if I met them today. And then you start thinking about yeah, you start becoming a bit self-conscious, which is, I guess, negative in terms of like the confidence thing. But I see it as a positive in terms of you actually kind of looking out for other people, even if people don't really appreciate it or won't say thank you or anything. Having the good intentions towards other people is a good thing. It's looking self-inwardly and looking at what you can do to maybe not be rude to people or stuff like that. And look after people, I think is a good thing. Although again, it can have negative effects, like again maybe being like socially anxious and such. But yeah, really interesting stuff covered here today. I think there was a lot more under the hood that maybe I didn't even uncover today, to be honest with you. I liked a lot of the symbolism here with the visuals. I thought was really good. As I said, I do hope we do see her more kind of. I wouldn't say out of her shell, but it does. I wouldn't say she feels like a plot device per se, but it is very waggery kind of. Her whole character is in some way, shape or in every shape or form connected to waggery, and I do hope she can have her own kind of story. Perhaps I mean she has a little bit here in regards to her self improvement and understanding herself better, and maybe getting over a little bit of that kind of self hatred, self loathing. But another way I can relate to that is I've always felt like a bit of an alien, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if that sounds weird saying that. I think I've heard other people say that, but sometimes you feel a bit like an extraterrestrial when you see people like react in certain ways or do stuff and you just like can't comprehend it, and yeah, you don't have that feeling and such. That's something I've also felt, so I can relate a lot to that. But as I said, everything kind of goes back to her and Waggery. So as I did say, I do hope we maybe she can have like certain relationship with Rintaro, not romantic, of course, but and that be kind of separate from the waggery stuff, or maybe she might start dating a boy or something. I'd like to see that kind of stuff. If that's not the case, I think this will be a little bit less impactful in the future. But for the time being, again, I really like this. Some really good stuff covered here today. Reminds me a little bit of the Summer Hikaru Died episode we had, which was very character focused as well. I do think the character writing is a little bit better in that show. That's definitely my favourite show that's airing this season, so I'm very biased in that regard. But it's in a very similar vein in this episode, to be honest with you, as to the episode I watched just a couple hours ago. And yeah, love the conclusion we came to here. And of course, going to be rooting for Subaru from now on. Like I said, she's a lot more relatable than I kind of assumed. Not in the terms of like protecting something. I can't really relate to that too much, to be honest with you. I've never had someone like that special, other than like my parents. But that's kind of a different thing. But yeah, I've never had anyone like a relationship like this, to be honest with you. So in that way, it's not really relatable. But again, kind of feeling a bit inhuman and kind of that self-loathing as such is something everyone feels to a degree. But yeah, just something I can get behind. So again, certainly looking forward to seeing more of that. I love the moments with waggery as well, of course. Again, just what was I was going to mention something, but I forgot during these kind of portions about the kind of disrespect stuff. Because like I don't have this way of thinking, but I can definitely understand why someone would feel disrespected because they see them like, because you see yourself as like a bad person and you have these things you hate about yourself. It does feel, because you're disrespecting yourself, it kind of does feel like you're disrespecting Waggery's opinion of her, if that makes sense. Like, Waggery has a very high opinion of Subaru and she really appreciates her and likes her, so she's almost kind of trampling on that because she doesn't like herself so much, which is not like, well, it's obviously a bad thing, but it's not like she's going out of her way to trample upon Waggery's opinion. Like, it's a self-esteem, self-loathing thing. Like, yeah, that is just inevitably going to be the case. But you can understand why Waggery maybe be a little bit mad that Subaru kind of sees herself like that, because why would someone that's so lovely to you see yourself like that? Why would they see something like logically that just doesn't make sense, doesn't it? There was something else I wanted to point out about that, but I can't remember, so I'll try and put it in the comment sections if I can. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Really good episode today, probably one of the best episodes of the series so far, in my opinion, especially with the deeper topics covered here. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 7.